Sure
club
was.
training. Do you have the dates? They had given 2 other dates this month. Do you have them?
For the training,
Yes.
What
no,
kind
I
of
don't
training?
have them. I was actually on travel when they came to this agreement, so I was chatting back and forth, answering questions when that was discussed. So I have no idea when they are. They let me know, obviously.
Carla, I'll get that tomorrow. I have a meeting tomorrow, and I know that, I think I have the dates, I don't have the links.
Is that for club coaching?
Opening.
Of
Opening.
opening certification training.
Right.
And then there are some more club coaching too, which we still need a few of. So
I've still got to do that training too.
it's going to
Okay,
be on
and
the,
now Mr. Brad is on. Brad, do you know the dates for the upcoming club building training? Same as last night. There were 2 other dates that were mentioned.
Oh, we did one last night.
Correct.
I know there's one on the 26th, but that's for club coaching, I believe, not club opening.
Okay.
I was just on the phone with Kathleen Moylan earlier this afternoon or late this afternoon, and she is arranging one for the area 4, but she didn't have a date yet for that one.
Okay. Well, then we don't have the answer to that tonight. Okay.
So that's March 16th that or 26th?
For club
For
coaching
coaching.
at
club coaching.
10 Central.
Okay. 10 a.m. or 10 p.m.?
10 a.m. on Saturday morning, and I believe Jan Maxwell is going to get the invitation out.
Okay, good.
Thank you. Okay, let's get started because we are after 7. And Roy had asked me to start the meeting, and please jump in at any point that you wish to, Roy. I believe that what we're looking at for schedule is Monday, the 9th of May, starting at noon so that people can come in on Monday.
and Carla, we'd have to have a meeting then to debrief and get everything organized and all that.
But it can be abbreviated since everybody will have been through the club opening basic training. It just needs to be all the local. What do we know about the clubs and their service projects and that type of thing to learn more about the communities? Is that right?
Right, and yeah, mostly. There were a couple things, the club opening training I went to, that very first one didn't cover a couple things, so I really need to go to another one. I couldn't go last night, and see what's in it now. Or is it recorded anywhere, Brett, or?
No, it's not recorded yet because it's morphing periodically as we refine it.
Right.
And just smooth it out a little bit. That's why you haven't seen that yet. But were there any areas in particular, Barb, that you wanted to know more information about, or just the whole thing in general?
Well, the main thing was they had a very, very long sample call on people, very long. I think it was actually supposed to be an appointment call and probably lasted 10 minutes, which, and also there wasn't any asking the person questions or finding out what they're interested in. It was just talking. And I totally get this. Everybody has a passion for Kiwanis, and they love to talk about what they're doing and the good things that Kiwanis is doing, and that is wonderful. It's just that we've got to engage the person.
Right.
And so that was the piece that I saw that was missing.
Okay.
And Jay and Phil Rossi did a really nice job last night. The session was far more engaging and interactive, and
Good.
they did a really nice role play of an appointment, I thought. So I think before they had some video, and that wasn't quite as good. So
No, it was
Yeah,
it was people. It was Phil and somebody else. I can't
Okay.
remember who.
Yeah,
Okay,
it was
so
Regina
what-
and Phil initially. Anyway, sorry.
What we're looking at is beginning at noon on Monday. So basically noon to 5, all day Tuesday, all day Wednesday.
You
And
know,
then, let me get through the schedule and then we
Yeah.
can modify it if we need to. And then it was my thought that Thursday was going to be the board meeting, the 12th, and the 13th would be club boosting with the lieutenant governors. And the 14th would be lieutenant governor training.
we need some time to have the organizational meeting, and it would be, it's really hard to get a club open in, that's essentially 2.5 days.
Well, if some people are not involved in the board meeting, they could go on Thursday and do the opening work. But
You'll have at least the morning for Thursday too.
right, because the
Board
board
meetings
meeting
in the
would be
afternoon.
afternoon.
Yeah, and also, you know, when we go in on a blitz, we always have the organizational meeting planned so that we can invite people as they join to that organizational meeting, so we'll have to have that figured out.
Could we do an organizational meeting the week before by Zoom?
Before we get the members?
No, Roy's talking about the planning meeting when we're getting people ready to go out.
Is that what you were talking about, Barb? I
No,
thought-
I'm talking about the organizational meeting of the new club.
Okay, well, that'd be later in the week then.
Yeah.
That'd either have to be Wednesday night or Thursday over the lunch hour. Probably. Or I guess you could do Thursday night if the board meeting only takes the afternoon.
Would it not be possible to do the organizational meeting by Zoom rather than in person?
Possibly, but if we're doing everything else in person, you know, because they're people who haven't met each other, possibly.
Yeah, I
And,
think it'd be better to do it in person if we can.
Better synergy in
yeah,
person.
Yeah.
right.
Plus, a lot of times we get spouses that will come along and they'll get excited by hearing the pitch about Kiwanis and they'll join, so they still can be made, you know, a charter member too.
Correct.
You
So-
could do something. What I would recommend, just as an idea to think about, is do the meeting in person and also offer it up, do it like a hybrid meeting
We
for
could do that.
those that have a difficult schedule or could not be there in person. Maybe it's possible that they attend virtually and allow them to Zoom in, but have the bulk of them attend in person.
That's a great idea. We have to have somebody to run the Zoom then, so.
Right.
And also, we'll have to choose our location very carefully, because if we have a noisy restaurant, then it won't work. So if,
Well, what if we do the organizational meeting Thursday night?
I think that's a great idea.
I mean,
Yeah.
the board's gonna be over by 5 and
Right.
normally we have a dinner, which they could still do, but then maybe some of the board members would like to join us for the organizational meeting.
Right,
And we'll be at the hotel, so we'll have a meeting room.
I think
Okay,
that-
the only problem with that is, are we going to have two separate meetings on Thursday night? Because we're talking about opening two separate clubs.
Yeah, that's right.
Correct. That's correct.
Yeah.
That is correct. And possibly, some of the board meeting members could go to one and some could go to the other.
Or you could also, the site that you think you'll have more success in, do that Wednesday night and the other one Thursday night, or do one Thursday at noon and the other one
Right.
at Thursday at night.
Right, that's a possibility, because Branson and Springfield are not next door neighbors. I mean, they're,
Yeah.
That's the
Really?
distance between the
40
two.
Really?
minutes.
Well,
Oh, I
yeah,
didn't know that.
the organizational meeting for Branson might have to be at Branson.
right.
Yeah.
Yes, I think so. Yeah, and I think that we'll know more once Paul's doing some background work, and I think we'll know more once we know what he's able to do.
Well, I've got a report from Paul, which I'll give when and we got a great start on Branson, so, but we could do both on Thursday night, and some of us just split up and go to Branson.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So, But.
Okay,
yeah,
so if we need it, we're still going to be making calls in the morning on Thursday.
And
the
possibly all day,
Blitz.
and possibly all day long. And not, the board members would not be able to.
Right.
Right.
And then meetings on Thursday night, organizational meetings for each club.
Right. That's a good tentative plan, and we could, once we know what Paul's report is, it sounded like he might have some members already, and so that it is possibly, that there would be, we could do Wednesday night for them. I don't know. We'll have to
Oh,
see.
and then some of us might be willing to come in on Sunday night and get started Monday morning. If we have a place to go.
Yeah, that's true.
So the people
would-
that are coming in for the Blitz, how much time do you think that really requires?
How much time does what require? The Blitz?
The organizational meeting for the Blitz.
I'm not sure, I'm not sure we're talking about the same thing. Organizational meeting that I'm talking about is organizing the club.
Yeah, no, that I'm back to schedule. So coming in on Monday at noon, you were saying we would need to set aside some time.
Right, and
And I don't know what you wish to call it. You don't want to call it organizational. What do you want to call it?
Site,
A briefing, a briefing.
site
Okay.
briefing is what you.
Site briefing.
Okay. So once
And a lot of
again,
that could be accomplished if we have each of the sites have, information about their community, you can dig out a lot of that information in advance and share it. So
Isn't that, to go back to somebody else's question, isn't that something we could do prior
Zoom.
via Zoom?
if
That
we have it,
debriefing?
and if we have it, and the other thing is that part of it is the people, getting the people into their teams. And, possibly we could do that ahead of time. There'll be a lot of material that we need to give people, and yeah, I'm thinking, so we possibly could
Well,
do that ahead of time. I'm not sure
While
how
you're
much-
thinking, I need to ask a question. Who all is coming in for the the Blitz?
That is a really good question.
Because I'm gonna have to make sure I have rooms set up for all those folks.
So we need,
Depends on how much money KI gives us.
Well, let's hope they give us a lot, because
well, that depends on how much we write the grant for. We potentially, they will give us $4,000 if we match it, and if we have the grant written to that sum. We probably won't get it to $4,000 unless we have a lot of people coming in.
All right,
Right.
Barb, how many people do we need?
Well, the more the better, especially experienced people. Another issue is that we need to have people that are brand new with an experienced person. So how many experienced people do we have? And Jay, you're coming, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And Brad, are you coming?
I'm hoping so. I'm still working on my calendar. I've got a meeting
Okay.
with all the governors and governor-elects next Monday night, and I'll hopefully have everything nailed down by then. But that's my plan, is to come
Okay,
and
great.
stay for the training.
Well, and we'll have some people in the Springfield area who won't need to be in a hotel.
Correct.
right, thank goodness.
And we need
But-
to
What-
determine all of that. And so my thinking is that we need to poll the lieutenant governors and ask them to poll anybody in their area who might be willing to come. And that we
Well,
need,
give me a number that you think we need and we'll go for that.
okay,
I
Last
would
night
think
they
you would
said
need-
4 to 6.
Yeah, I would think you would need 6 per site. And I'd also recommend that you would have 2 per site as alternatives. that would be available in case of, some unforeseen scheduling conflict. Just came off a club opening last week and it happens every single time. There's always somebody that has a sick family member, scheduling conflict or scheduling change. So if you have 6 people, you would have 3 teams of 2, 3 experienced, 3 inexperienced. And then if you'd have a couple per site that are alternatives, you're equipped that if you have someone that has a scheduling change, that you can replace them without stress. So, but they just have to be, willing and able to know that they may or may not be needed. And you also have to account for folks' availability. Some of them, if they come, they may not be available for all the days from start to finish.
Yeah, they
Because
may
of
be
some-
available one day, but not the next.
Right.
day. Sure.
They could have a doctor's appointment, a dental appointment, or some other kind of personal thing going on in their life that they can't be involved in the recruitment part. And so you have to account for that as well. So if you have alternatives, you're equipped either way. So.
Right. And it typically happens that somebody who has planned to be there for all 3 days gets called home.
It also depends if you're going to have any local drivers,
Right.
people that know the area. So if there's somebody in Springfield from one of the Springfield area clubs that knows their way around North Springfield, that will get us from point A to point B a lot quicker and more efficiently to call on more people.
Yeah, and the other
Great point, Brad. Great point.
Right. I like to have a driver also so that I can make notes between the calls and also can debrief the call with whoever I'm with.
Right.
So,
One of the things we need to take into consideration too is that Branson in May will be crowded. Lots of tourists and the roads are going to be really crowded because even today it was really full because spring breakers and
We'll
stuff.
stay
So,
off the strip.
yeah, we'll have to figure out routes to go
Mhm.
and stay off the strip.
If you
Well,
know
that
local
gives us
people that
an
know those
idea.
back
That's-
roads, that helps.
That means 12 people and 4 alternates. Plus whoever we get from KI.
say that again, Roy. I didn't get that down.
Well, from what Jay said, we will need a total of 12 people with 4 alternates besides that. And then Jay and Brad, if he comes, anybody else that we have to ramrod things.
And we need at least 6 of those people to be experienced club openers.
Okay, but we do have. Roy, would you count yourself as experienced?
Well, I will be when I've taken that course, won't I?
Well,
He's been out in
that's-
the field with
That's
us
the best I
Yeah.
can do.
during governor-elect training, so he's experienced.
Anyhow, what I was coming up with quickly was myself and Roy and Mary Vaughn and Jay and Brad. And I had Les. Les, are you going to be available for all of that or not? You're muted, sir.
Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, I'll be part of the time. I won't guarantee all of the time, but I'll be there as much as I can.
Carla, you
Okay.
can put me
So-
down as experienced.
Really?
Are
I
you sure?
I'd sure hope so,
I
Barb.
think so.
You've done God knows how many of them.
One thing
Well,
that
we got some of us on the borderline, right?
One thing I would
Okay.
really recommend is that we get our social media campaign, the Facebook, going with Steve Hatt no later than the 1st of April. And then I think what you could do is either the 15th and then the week before, or just do it the week before. I would do an informational meeting by Zoom for anybody that we've contacted through Facebook and all, to give them just a quick pitch about Kiwanis, because you could actually probably have several people already in your hip pocket from, those calls. We get a lot of retired teachers and other people that express interest from our Facebook ads, our posts and everything. So that would really help
When do you think
expedite
we'll need to
things.
do that, Brad?
Who, what?
About when?
I would say that you probably want to contact Steve Hatt, anytime in the next couple of weeks to get it going right around the 1st of April.
Okay, but have an informational meeting when?
Oh, I was suggesting, I don't have my calendar for me, like the 15th, and then the week before we do the actual on-site thing, perhaps have another one or whatever, and
Okay.
invite people. And you can do a lot of, we've got online a Kiwanis orientation. We don't want to bore them with a lot of Kiwanis. We want to talk more about community needs, but I've done ones here in the Indy area where we've actually done like a quick doodle poll where we'll say, what's the #1 issue in North Springfield, and give them like 4 choices. It's education, it's arts and culture, it's crime and safety, and whatever your other one is. And that way, when they come in, you start talking about the community needs and what they want to do versus us telling them, trying to cram Kiwanis down their throat right away and everything.
Okay.
When we did
Right.
Cedar County, we used Facebook a lot, and Steve put in, he requested them to sign up and give their phone number and email and everything. Have you had success with
Oh,
that?
yeah, that's exactly what we did with the governor-elect one that Roy was part of. So as soon as once we got notification of their email and their telephone number, then I would immediately go onto Facebook and try to find them to learn what I can do by scrolling through that. I would also go out to LinkedIn and see if I can find them, and then I would do a Google search. And so it was interesting that, like in Fishers, there were a couple of retired teachers. One of them I knew every school district that she'd been in for the last 40 years, and I knew she was divorced and how many kids. I mean, I didn't divulge that to her because I didn't want to put her off, but I knew a hell of a lot about this woman before we even, got together and everything. So it's very helpful to, do that. And, we found that the deputy mayor and his wife had been key clubbers. And so, I mean, but it takes some, just like setting appointments, Barb, you know how hard it is to
Right.
call, and then they don't recognize your area code. So then you have to take and send them an email that evening and then call them the
Right.
next day. And,
Right.
that's what it takes. So.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
It'd also be worth trying to look in those areas. I would guess probably not in Branson, but in the Springfield area, if there are any CKI or key clubbers that would be available. We don't want to take them out of class or anything, but a lot of them, maybe their schooling is over by May, because there's nothing better than taking one of them along on a call and saying,
Right.
this is why we do it,
Right. So I will contact Steve tomorrow, if that's all right with everybody, and ask him to add that piece to the Facebook page, asking them to sign up.
Okay, but we don't have Facebook pages for those areas yet, do we?
He will make them.
He'll set them
Okay.
up for you.
He'll set
But you're
them up.
talking about make it with that added.
But
to
you
it.
need, Barb, I think you need to decide who are the administrators who can go in and check on those. So whether you want it to be you and Carla and Roy and Mary or whatever, just let them know who.
Well, it'd be good to have at least 2 administrators for each site.
Mhm.
So who would be willing to do that?
Yeah, that'd be minimum.
I can do one or the other or both, whatever you like.
Okay,
Yeah, I can too.
okay, Roy and Carla, and I'll do one and.
I can help with Branson too.
Okay, perfect. Robin and.
And
Roy,
Robin,
Branson or
what
Springfield?
about you for during that week? Are you
I
doing
should be
other
good.
work?
Well, I'll be teaching, but I can do that at night and stuff. And I can rearrange things at the church to where I can just either have them do it that week, and because I usually do the books for the church, so
Okay.
I usually do those on Tuesday, but I can have somebody else do them.
And I'm not familiar with how much you have participated in club booths or opening.
I
before.
haven't
Okay.
yet.
Okay.
You'll be great.
Yeah,
Roy, do you want to do Branson or Springfield?
It doesn't matter. Let's just settle on that when we get a number of people, I'd say, and let everybody have their choice. I'll take either one, so.
Okay, all right, well, so we can settle
Okay.
that out.
Okay, so far, here's what I have. I have Jay, Brad, hopefully Brad, Carla, Barbara, Roy, Mary, Robin. Who else did you mention anybody else?
We mentioned Les. And
Well,
Les,
Sorry, Les.
if you can find out sooner rather than later, which days or which parts of days you are available, that would be a really important thing for us to have.
Okay, well, I'll let you know a little closer in. And right now I've got 2 heavy jobs and I don't know how long they're gonna last. So I went 6 months with nothing and then all of a sudden I got 2 jobs at the same time. But they might run into that. So I'll be available as much as I can.
Okay,
Just-
and then
Les,
Marcia,
Marcia,
Yes.
Paul Sherman.
did you say you're not available during the week?
Me,
I'm
Marcia,
trying to get off the whole week. I mean, that'll be my week of vacation, I guess, this year. So I'm doing my best. We have a super big project that I'm in charge of, but I'm gonna try to schedule it. So,
okay, once again, the sooner that we know, the better.
right.
So whatever's gonna work for your schedule, but realistically, what days you are gonna be able to give.
Well,
Okay.
Marcia, go ahead. Ray.
And you were participating in the Cedar County, weren't you?
No,
No, you weren't. Okay, so have you not been on them before?
never.
Okay. So Marcia
It'll
is
be
more of a
great.
newbie and Robin is more of a newbie.
Yep.
Well, and if Marcia can't have the whole week, I'd really like to have her on Friday, especially. That'd be the,
I could probably swing a Friday easier than any of the days. So,
Well, Marcia,
Oh,
if you do have to take it as a vacation, we'll make sure you enjoy it.
Yeah,
you bet.
we'll teach you how to do it. Don't worry. It's
I'll buy
not
you-
hard. It just,
I'll buy you alcoholic beverages, sweetheart.
Did
well,
you
I
have
guess
Paul-
before or after?
Mary,
we
did you
don't
have
know.
Paul Sherman down? Did you have Paul Sherman down?
No, I didn't because I wasn't sure if Paul was gonna be available.
Paul, I don't know how much he'll be available, but he's already done a lot of work on it.
Yeah, he has, but I didn't know if he'd be available during the week.
Yeah,
I'll-
and Les, will you be able to do some pre-work in Springfield North?
yeah, I've been going through the list and seeing whatever, but yeah, I've put a couple of feelers out to a couple of people in the north side area that give me some names and stuff like that. So that's what I'm working on now.
One thing
And-
that
Go ahead.
Mary might be able to do that would be helpful both for club opening in Springfield North and then whatever boosts we're doing in that area is according to our printed directory, we have Ozark Empire, Springfield, Springfield Downtown, Springfield South. So if you could just pull together on one page when they meet, how often they meet, what day, what time, and who to contact. Because a lot of times when we'll be out, we may be calling on somebody that's on Springfield North, but they actually live down closer to one of the other clubs. So it's always great for us to have as a reference that we can refer people to another club if they express interest.
Okay,
I can do that.
okay, I'll let you.
Okay.
I'll let you, baby.
Thank you, Marcia.
And Les, wasn't Shane Straw going to help with this?
Yes,
Oh, Shane, yeah.
And Alan Aubuchon,
Oh, yeah.
Ryan.
Ryan couldn't join us tonight, but he said
Ryan.
to let him know.
And Shane is,
Ryan Aubuchon. Yes, he's planning on it.
now Shane is experienced. I don't know if Ryan is.
Well,
No,
Ryan would,
Ryan-
I need
Ryan's
Ryan
not.
on Friday for sure.
Shane helped with Cedar County, I think.
What
No,
about-
he didn't help with Cedar County, but he helped with Warrenton. And then he went back and used that
That's
to
right.
build Christian County.
Can we back up just a moment?
Yeah,
I didn't know where to interject this into, but we still need sponsoring clubs
Right.
All right.
before this can happen. And I took it to my board last week and they are not interested.
So
Wow.
I don't know if you all saw that list in the email, but that was a list of the things that we have to do in order to do the grant. And we have to have the sponsoring club and 2 coaches for each club. And Marcia's right. That's really we need to go down that list that I sent you because those are the things we have to have done. and the grant has to be in April 1st.
Right.
Did you all look at that?
I did not.
Yeah,
Les, do you
did.
think, I was gonna say that Southside Club used to be the sponsor for the Northside Club, the old
Yeah.
Northside Club. So would they do it again, do you think,
Well, I was
Les?
gonna say, I'll approach them tomorrow, and I think that they will. I've hinted just a little bit already, but with Paul being that club, me and Paul and Ryan, I think we can handle it. And Larry is very supportive, so, but I will take it to the board to the meeting tomorrow and have a special call board meeting and do it.
Yeah,
But
do that because we need to have that as soon as possible.
And then,
Okay,
we need the 2 coaches.
We can handle that. Barb, do we have any other things that we need to address with Jay or with Brad? Because they're gonna have to hop off the meeting pretty soon to be on another meeting.
Yeah, one thing, I have, the 13th that week on Friday. Thursday, I would have to break off early and come back home because my daughter graduates from college that Friday, Friday is the
Absolutely.
13th? I
Yeah.
probably
Friday
better
the
not,
13th.
miss that, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, Jay.
Wouldn't do
sure.
me any good.
Well,
I
we
think
You paid for it.
We should have the 2 clubs opened by
We-
Friday. That's the
I
plan.
can see where your priorities lie.
We just won't be able to drive over together. So,
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, anything for Jay or Brad?
and I think we mentioned on the last call, how are we reaching as far as asking the Rajinskis or anyone else up in Barb and Mary's, everybody's neck of the woods that have done club opening with us in Spanish Lakes and all the
Yeah.
other Warrenton and all?
Now that we know how many we
Martha
need, we'll ask everybody we can find until we have
Yeah,
enough.
you definitely, I would
Martha was-
definitely recommend, the Rajinskis. They are
They are great.
fantastic. They
Yeah.
are one dynamic team for sure.
They are.
I'm probably going to take a wild guess and say that they probably aren't going to be available. They've really been cutting back, but Mary Sally might be available. And there's some other people around that might be available as well.
I think Mary said that she was planning on being available that week. the
Yep,
whole
she
week.
was.
Mhm.
Steve Henderson from Bolivar is
I was
retired.
gonna-
Has
I
anybody
was gonna ask
contacted?
about him. No, I don't think so.
No,
Steve
but
Henderson, has anybody contacted him? Of course, they were sponsored in County.
I was gonna ask about Steve, but yeah, I think he would be a good person and we just need to ask him.
Yeah,
right.
he's retired, so
Good.
We also had Andrea Flynn's done stuff with us in Spanish Lakes. You guys have so many good people. Yeah.
Well, I can ask both Steve and Andrea. Or
Well,
do
it
you,
might not be a bad idea to put it out through the lieutenant governors.
right,
If
that
they're
was my,
serving a second term, they could come in early and help us with a little bit that week anyway.
that was my thought. That was the
Yeah, the
2.
ones who were in the training last year would be better off really helping the first of the week than being a part of the last part of the week, I think.
I
Right.
know you just finished your 4 education days, but if you're doing a newsletter or anything to put out there, if any Kiwanians and Moark know anyone in North Springfield or in Branson, please let us know, because I
That's a good
find
idea.
Kiwanians are well connected, and it's always great to know that so-and-so moved from this club over to Branson to retire and might be available or whatever, so.
Tiffany Ermeling might be available as well.
But she certainly is working full-time.
Yeah, but she might be able to take off and spend some time with us. And I'll make sure I let her, I'll ask her and let her know.
Okay,
Les, do you want to contact Steve Henderson? Do you normally talk to him or?
I'm getting ready to send him an email right now.
Okay, all right,
That's
Then I'll-
it, having two computers.
right. I'll contact Andrea then if you'll contact Steve.
And Brad, one last question before you guys hop off, if you're
Mhm.
still there.
We're here.
So we keep talking about key clubbers and trying to re-engage old key clubbers. How do we get list of old key clubbers?
If you provide me with like the zip code for areas where you're gonna want to either do a boost or to do a club opening, I can go to Quan Pinson, or Jay can as well, in our SLP area. And what she could run a list of key clubbers and CKI. More importantly, she usually provides me with a good list of faculty advisors and some principals and people at the schools that we've dealt with through the years. But again, it's a database that you don't know whether the people are still in those schools and stuff like that. But I know in Rocky Mountain, we had 18 people that she surfaced for us that we were able to put contact to get a club going there. So
So would these zip codes provide you their mailing address of where they lived in high school?
yeah, this would be for people that have graduated. You actually, probably for your current members, you'd be better to go to your district administrator and get any
Right.
of that information.
Okay,
For both Key Club and CKI have different administrators usually.
okay.
Marcia,
We
Marcia
do.
and I can probably give you all the zip codes in Springfield,
Yeah.
65803 through 658 or 635.
5810.
You thought
Yeah,
you
you can.
could.
Yeah.
Probably can.
You've confused the hell out of me. I wrote 65803, but I don't think that was what you meant.
65803 through 65810.
69083 through
65803, 65803.
65803.
And then 6510.
810.
Oh, yeah.
810.
Yeah.
But it goes all the way up, 65804 and 5. and
So
6.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
I bet
and
you
10.
Branson only probably has one. I'll look it up. I can do a Google search, so that's fine. Cool.
Okay.
We probably should
Thank
jump
you,
over,
Brad.
Jay, you think?
Yep.
Thank you, everybody.
thanks,
You're making
gentlemen.
progress.
Thanks.
All righty.
Bye, guys.
Good seeing
We'll
you
talk
all.
See
again.
y'all. Yep.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you all.
Take
One
care.
last. Woo!
Thank you, Brad and Jay.
Mark.
My pleasure.
Carla, before Barb gets off, can I give Paul's report because it's pretty encouraging, I think.
Right.
Please.
I'm not supposed to tell y'all that he is taking dancing lessons tonight, and that's the reason he's not with us.
Oh, I'd pay to see that. I don't know why.
Well, he's been working on 4 contacts. This is all for Branson, I think, but there's a couple even that might help us in North Springfield. Attorney Kate Trockey Harris is making a list of prospects, and I have a list that he gave me of 5 people that may be interested in joining the Branson Club with email addresses. So we've already got that. Kate Troxey Harris is excited about Kiwanis making a difference in Branson, so she may well be a good lead in that area. He hasn't talked with Judge Eric Amy yet, but he's a juvenile court judge in Taney County, and he's interested in reversing the number of children now in care in the juvenile juvenile court. We hadn't talked to him yet, but he thinks he will be very interested. Judge Alan Blankenship, he has talked with. Alan used to be in practice in Branson West. He's a former member of the Stone County Kiwanis Club, former president, and he said he's interested in getting back into Kiwanis. Alan and Judy Bergstresser have a real estate business in Branson West, and they know everybody. Says, when I called Alan, they answered in North Carolina visiting a daughter. Their son, Ben Bergstresser, is the prosecuting attorney for Webster County north of Springfield. Alan is also a former president of the old Stone County Kiwanis Club. He promised to think about it and get a list for Paul. He said that he and Judy are about to retire, and he wasn't sure he wants to take on too much, but When he heard that Kate was interested in Alan and maybe Eric, he got a little excited about getting back in, so he might be a possibility too. So Paul's done some legwork already, and I think he's
great.
gonna be a good help for us in getting the Branson Club going.
Great. So how are we going to get a sponsoring club for Branson?
For Branson, yeah.
Well, does anybody know anybody in the Harrison Club? They're not far away from Branson.
But
on the
Troy,
other side of the-
Troy Mass, Shane and I talked just a little bit, hinted that Christian County might be in. I'd say contact Shane and see if they won't do it, because they're, halfway between Springfield and Branson, and they're closer than Harrison, and it's in the same division as well.
Okay,
I think Shane would entertain, at the last division council, I kind of hinted just a little bit to him, and he and Don, the president, kind of smiled a little bit. So Marcia might be able to give a little more light on that than what I said, but I know I hinted, and they didn't say no.
So Marcia, would you ask Shane?
I can ask Shane. And Robin, do you have all the old contacts from the Springfield North Club?
Yeah, they were on the email.
Okay, I didn't
just-
have it.
I sent that, I got the list from
Yeah,
Renee
Barb's-
and I sent it.
Okay,
There's several that have passed away, and there's several that I don't know on that list. So,
I was going
and there's
through it.
several that have moved away.
Yeah, I was going through it right now, and like you said, a lot of them have passed away. Art Barner and several others.
Art and Richard Chadwell and Marion Watson have all passed. Those three I know for sure passed away. And then several have moved out of the area.
All
And
right, you
there's a
said
bunch on that list I don't know too.
Chadwell, what were the names that have passed away?
Richard Chadwell, Marion Watson, and Arthur Barner. They've all passed away
Okay,
that I know of. And I don't know if I know there's several that are on the list that are sick. Now, Pam Strunk, who was on the North Side, she was one of my recruits into the North Side Club, and she lives in Miriam Woods down by, so she might be interested in Branson. So I can talk to her. I still stay in contact with her. She might be interested in the Branson Club. She just was so far away from Springfield anymore and not working there. So that's why she quit.
Yeah,
So you're going to ask her, Robin? You're going to contact?
Yeah, I'll check with Pam. Her and I are really good friends. So
on that north side list, Jerry Gardner, he just got transferred back to Springfield. I've been bugging him to come to our club,
cool.
but we might get him more excited. His office is on East Sunshine, a long ways from North Side, but still,
Oh yeah.
it's still a possibility. And
There's Billy and there's Roy, and
Roy Edge, yeah.
Yep.
yeah.
And Bobby,
now,
Bill
what
Claiborne.
do we know about the schools and who we are already working with? Normally, we're going to be kind of heavy hitting into the school district, and with so many Springfield clubs already working, we need to know who is already tied to a Kiwanis club, so we're not bothering somebody that already is part of the family.
for our club, we sponsor the Central Key Club, which is kind of north side, kind of downtown. I mean, north side and downtown's kind of close. But we just have their sponsor. We don't have their principal or anything. We may have a new recruit that we're talking to that's the basketball coach, but Hillcrest is the north side school.
Right.
And they used to have a key club, and I heard they kind of wanted to have a key club. And we actually have their retired counselor that works part-time for Hillcrest still in our club. So I could talk to Mary Kay and see if there might be someone who to reach out to, I guess.
That would be really helpful, yes.
Okay.
And Hillcrest is the high school?
Is the high
On
school
the north
that's the
side.
furthest north, yeah.
Okay, what about middle or grade schools?
I don't think there's anything with Kiwanis in, like the northwest corner where it's like Bissett, Bowerman, York.
Yeah, York.
And those are some of the, those are some of the schools for the Kiwanis Connect that we were we had some interest in. That was in Bowerman and York, so for sure. And I think Bissett would probably also be one.
What is,
There's two,
spell Bissett?
Bissett.
Okay, thank you.
there's two middle schools in Northside, Pipkin and Reed.
Pipkin?
Yes.
Mhm.
And
And what
Reed,
is-
REED.
Okay,
Right
And
now,
also-
York, they're building a brand new school and they're over,
West a little ways.
over in West, and Sunshine
Nichols,
and
yeah.
stuff.
Have
Then
the
there's
Springfield
Robert-
clubs had any success at Missouri State?
We used to have a a Circle K there.
But I mean, for membership,
I doubt it. I have a lot of contact with a lot of them and I've approached several of them. Larry Summers would be the best source at MSU since he's retired staff member, but
we've had pretty good success with the university here, so I think that might be a possibility if you get the word out. Communicating on a campus is kind of hard sometimes.
Well, and there's besides MSU, there's OTC and there's,
Evangel.
the Bible colleges, there's Evangel,
Yeah.
Yeah, Drury,
BBC.
Yeah, we used to have a Circle
Drury,
K Evangel
Drury.
several years ago.
And
Isn't Drury down there?
isn't Drury there?
And Drury's there.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
Well,
we
it's
got
a little
three.
easier for a college professor to get away for a meeting than a high school teacher, that's for sure. Even a high school administrator.
I'll
And it
talk-
depends on where they have their when they have their meetings too, so.
I'll talk to Larry Summers tomorrow about MSU since he's retired there. And he still stays in contact, but I'll contact him tomorrow about it.
Thank you, Les. Okay, what else do we need tonight? Roy, what's on your wish list?
I think we've covered a lot of it. And I guess the next question is, do we meet again? And if so, when? Probably need to meet in another week or so.
Yeah,
Roy, let me mention in way of a question, in years past, the past governors have participated in the lieutenant governor's training. They've been invited, some came and some didn't. Do you want to put an invitation out to past governors to participate on Saturday or any of the rest of it?
Well, if they're gonna work, that'd be helpful. What I'm planning on doing is maybe having something at dinner Friday night and trying to wrap up right after lunch Saturday instead of going all day Saturday, because they're gonna be all there all day Friday, hopefully.
Mary Sally wants to get with you with club leadership training so she can, help you wherever she can, if you need her help.
Yes, I do, sure. But as far as the past governors are concerned, if there's somebody who has something to contribute, then sure, that'd be fine. We're gonna be spending a lot more money though on lieutenant governor training if we're gonna be having them a bunch of them there
And
two nights
boost, yeah.
instead of one.
Yeah, well, the past governors, the only thing, we just got the free meal, but we provide our own transportation, so that's the way it's been in the past.
Yeah,
And actually, you know, if they were going to be there for the board meeting on Thursday afternoon, they might well stay and help with the boosting. But that would be a question to them, Les, as to whether they would want to participate in that or not.
If you give me, Carla, once you, in a few days, give me a list, the agenda, of what's going to happen day by day, I'll just send out as a calendar announcement to the past governors. What can you help and let us know.
Anyhow, Roy, don't you think the more we would have, the better on Friday?
yeah, yeah. Yeah, because I don't know, you know, we might get half the lieutenant governors. I think that'd be a good turnout for half of them. So, well, that'd be 12 or 13, right?
Well, we had like 2/3 last year.
We had
I
like
know.
18.
So
I
you
was
should,
pretty
you should
pleased.
work for 3/4 to show me up.
Yeah. And tell them all to bring quarters.
Yeah,
Okay,
Alright.
I will put together a tentative agenda for the week of what we have talked about. How about if I send it by you, Roy, before I put it out?
sure, that's
And
great.
you can give it your blessing and then we'll move along from there.
Roy, I'll put together trying to fit everything into the time schedule that you'd like for Lieutenant Governor training. I'll put something together and send it to you, and then you can play with it as you want.
Yeah,
If
well,
that's okay with
I've
you.
got what Carla had last year, and
Okay.
that's what I'm kind of going by that. What I think we really need to focus on because of the grant is to get our teams, our people ready for the opening. And you got that list that we kind of made on the fly. If we can
Mhm.
nail some of those people down so that we've got enough people to start the openings anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, the things that are going to be difficult to get done by the 1st of April are we need to get those sponsors, and
Mhm.
if you don't have appointments,
coaches.
you need to have 150 leads on that list. So we're going to have to work our bottoms off to get names and addresses and phone numbers on that Google sheet.
Mhm.
Well, Paul's got a good start for Branson on making a long list. I don't know if we'll hit 150, but looks like he can send the whole list of the bar association in.
That's okay. We could have a bar club,
That's right.
a specialty club, a bar club.
Can I join that if it's the bar club?
No,
Yeah.
Mary, it's
Do
not
you
that kind
have
of
to
bar.
do you have to have a degree, a law degree to be in that club?
No, Mary, I'm with you. I'll sit in the back with you.
Yeah,
It's
we'll
like-
just listen. We'll just listen.
It's like when I announced to our club that our grandson had passed the Missouri bar. Of course, our son's already an attorney. Somebody said, huh, sounds to me like you got 2 bartenders in your family.
Sound good to me.
Okay, I think we're good. Mary, you
So,
going to Springfield this week?
I'm not. But
no,
Carla
just you and
is.
me. Mary's taking the week off.
Well, I
You
thought
guys
maybe
have
she'd
a
like to
good
go.
time.
She's so busy. She's been traveling so much. She's used to it.
Oh, man, I am, but I really need to get stuff done here.
How many are going to be at Sedalia next week?
I won't be.
I
Uh,
will.
Nancy Hoff said she'll probably go over, so. She
Yeah, Mary
offered,
Vaughn and I are going to be there together.
yeah,
Okay.
We're sharing a room.
yes, we are. Did you book it already?
Are you proud of us, Roy? We're keeping prices down.
Well, that's good. I'm still worried about, we're going to run people off when we tell them they have to share a room during the club opening.
Well, and actually, that's something that needs to be brought up
That's
because
true. You're right.
in order to get that money from the grant, we have got to do double occupancy.
That's right.
Yeah.
So we need to let people know as we ask them to come in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know that it's that, I mean, I would
I
prefer to
don't
have my
care.
own room, but
yeah, I
I don't
don't care.
really see it like a big deal.
Yeah,
So-
that's not a big deal.
Carla, have you booked our room for next week?
Yeah, yeah, we've
Okay,
got it.
good. I was gonna say I'll book it if you need me to.
It's all done.
Well, if
Nancy.
we have 10 women and 5 men, we got a problem.
I don't know. I'm game.
If you have 10 women and 5 men, you got one lucky man who gets his own
That's
room.
right. That's right.
Okay, do we want to try to meet again next week?
Or one of the guys can go sleep at Les's house.
Yeah,
Yeah, you have to sleep on the floor. I converted our third bedroom to my office. Just look in the background, you can see what it is.
So Carla, Nancy invited me to stay at their house next week. I said, no, I'm with Carla. So she'd have to take both of us. So we're not staying there.
Yeah, we'll be right there at the hotel where they're having the thing, so
Yeah, that's good. It's
easy
nice and
there.
easy.
how about a
Okay,
Zoom,
I
how
don't know
about a
about
Zoom
everybody.
meeting next week on Tuesday or Thursday?
All right, let me look at my calendar.
Not Tuesday, that's Sedalia's 100th anniversary.
That's
Oh,
right.
never
Can't do
mind.
Tuesday.
Thursday, be okay.
Yeah, I can do Thursday.
Thursday, the 24th?
Yeah.
I'm good.
I could probably do Thursday, but I'm not gonna be doggone happy about it, I can tell you.
Why? Is it your anniversary?
I'm the chair, we're getting back on Wednesday from Sedalia, and then our trivia night is the 26th, and I'm the trivia chair, so
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
it's
right.
gonna be
No.
not happy times on Thursday for Saturday trivia.
Boy, I
Well,
know
if
that
you- If
feeling.
you need to skip out, I can handle this, so.
Okay. Okay, so we're set for Thursday, the 24th,
It's 7.
7 or 6?
I like 7 better than
I do
6.
too.
Okay.
Yeah, me
7
too. It's
o'clock.
easier.
I can have dinner.
Well, one of us apologizes for taking bites during the meeting.
Oh, no, that's fine. Oh, gotta do what you gotta do. Well, I will, we could use the same Zoom address. I'll just change the date on the Zoom and we'll just use the same address, but I'll send
That-
it out again.
That would be
Send it
good.
out again.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
Well, and if we can add some of the people that we've been talking about being on the club opening teams, that'd be good to get them involved too.
I wrote notes from today's meeting as well as we'll have the recording. So I'll send that out to the people that couldn't be here today.
Okay.
Thank you, Mary,
You're welcome, ma'am.
and all of you.
okay. Our
All
hour
right.
is up. Time to go to bed.
Very good. Thank you all.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks,
guys.
everybody. Night.
But